Okay, brothers, let's hear loud salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad and wa ali Muhammad, sisters as well. We'll begin the program in just, I would say, maybe 30 seconds. So no wait for everyone from upstairs to come down, but also waiting for some of the brothers in the back in the chairs to come. Oh, there we go. Okay, great. Um, so I was going to make a couple of announcements actually before we begin. There was one announcement I was asked to make. Do you guys know about the raffle, the Arba'in raffle? Every year there's a raffle it's like a donation or fundraising, but there's several prizes that you can win. One of those prizes, actually, I think all four of those prizes are a trip to Arba'in fully paid. One is fully paid, everything. One is flight only. Other one is expenses only. So it depends what prize level you win. Brother Jafar upstairs is selling those tickets. So if you want to purchase them, or if you have, or your parents want to purchase them, it's like, I'm not sure, $25 a ticket. If you buy 4, you get 5. You get 1 free basically. Again, the funds that we raise from there go to the center. The second announcement I want to make is, I'll make this one again when there's more people. On Friday, there will be a Q&A session after the majalis, right? So especially for brothers and sisters who have questions about the topic, you can, ask those questions there. But also, you guys are all aware, I mentioned this last night, and we'll post more things on social media, but there's a Slido meeting made, or whatever it's called. So if you're on Slido, louder. So if you're on Slido, just go to slido.com or download the app and enter this number once you're on there. Let me get it up. Once you have it in there, it's there. The number is 583-1727. 583-1727. So once you have that, then you can ask any questions, feedback, questions about the topic, questions about what you read today, listened today, and then Mulana, inshallah, will address them in the upcoming majalis. Okay. All right, let's begin with Allah's salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. I now invite Brother Bilal to open the program with the recitation of the Holy Quran. Salawat.
صلوات. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والضحى والليل إذا سجى ما ودعك ربك وما قلى وللآخرة خير لك من الأولى ولسوف يعطيك ربك فترضى ألم يجدك يتيما فآوى ووجدك ضالا فهدى ووجدك عائلا فأغنى فأما اليتيم فلا تقهر وأما السائل فلا تنهر وأما بنعمة ربك فحدث صدق الله العلي العظيم. صلوات.
Thank you. So like every program, if you want to recite something, either the Quran or some poetry or even matam, please give your names in advance so I can schedule you guys in. Tonight's program will have two very, I'm not sure how to introduce them because they're pretty famous in their own ways, in their own means. Brother Thaki and Brother Taha, the Hussein brothers, have to recite the poetry for inshallah. So let's hear last salawat for them. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Muhammad wa ala Muhammad salawat. 1400 years have passed, but you will live eternal. The King of all martyrs, this is your legacy. You are the Savior, O Hussein, and you are our Master, O Hussein. O Hussein, 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 O Hussein. Each and every nation, O Hussein, send your salutation, O Hussein. Each and every nation, O Hussein, send your salutation, O Hussein. You will remain in our heart. I salute you, Hussein. I salute you, Hussein. I salute you, Hussein. Our holy prophet held you when you were born, and he cried aloud, O Hussein, remembering Karbala and you alone with no one around. We will always love you, O Hussein. No man is above you, O Hussein. You will remain in our heart. I salute you, Hussein. I salute you, Hussein. I salute you, Hussein. Hussein is my beginning, my life, and he's my end. Oh Hussein, the status of Imam Hussein only God can understand. Savior of religion, O Hussein, this is your station, O Hussein. You will remain in our heart. I salute you, Hussein. I salute you, Hussein. I salute you, Hussein. How can we ever forget that day of your sacrifice? Oh Hussein, we are not able to control the tears from our eyes. In this world wherever, oh Hussein, we will cry forever, oh Hussein. You will remain in our heart. I salute you, Hussein. I salute you, Hussein. I salute you, Hussein. Whenever we are in trouble or need help, you are always there. Oh Hussein, it doesn't matter what time or which place, you are everywhere. Every step by our side, oh Hussein, as our leader and our guide, oh Hussein, you will remain in our heart. I salute you, Hussein. I salute you, Hussein. I salute you, Hussein. Muhammad wa ala Muhammad salawat.
Muhammad wa ala Muhammad bulantar salawat. Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wajib farjaho. Hey zabardashte nainawa amire lashkare Hussain. Hey zabardashte nainawa amire lashkare Hussain. Ne hange kulzume vaga امیر لشکر حسین خدنگ ترکش قضا امیر لشکر حسین برنگ شاہ لافتہ امیر لشکر حسین جرید لیر با وفا امیر لشکر حسین وفا بہاد معجزہ امیر لشکر حسین زبردشت نینوا امیر لشکر حسین زبردشت نینوا امیر لشکر حسین یہ ذوالفقار حیدری یہ شیر بے شاہ-ے-نجف یہ تیغ و تیز ہاشمی نشان جرأت و صلب ہر ایک کا مرکز نظر کفیل تشنگان تف کنار نہر القما تمام فوج کا ہدف کسی سے پر نہ رک سکا امیر لشکر حسین زبردشت نینوا امیر لشکر حسین بہادران صف شکن میں اس جری کے تذکرے دلاوران تیغ و تن میں اس جری کے تذکرے ہر ایک وفا کی انجمن میں اس جری کے تذکرے رسول پاک کے چمن میں اس جری کے تذکرے غرور آل مصطفیٰ امیر لشکر حسین زبردشت نینوا امیر لشکر حسین زبردشت نینوا امیر لشکر حسین یزید بد نہاد سے سکون ذات چھین لے محافظین نہر سے حق حیات چھین لے جو مرضی حسین ہو ابھی فرات چھین لے فرات کیا ہے یہ وہ ہے یہ کائنات چھین لے بڑا بلند حوصلہ امیر لشکر حسین زبردشت نینوا امیر لشکر حسین مگر یہاں تو حکم ہے کہ بس علی کے شیر بس حسین اپنی زندگی سے ہو چکا ہے سیر بس قریب وقت یسر ہے بس اب میرے دلیر بس ہماری کوچ میں کہیں مزید ہو نہ دیر بس کرے گا تاب اگر وغا امیر لشکر حسین زبردشت نینوا امیر لشکر حسین بر محمد وعلی محمد بلندتر صلوات
Let's hear another loud salawat for the brothers. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farajahum. So again, I'm going to remind some of the new folks that are here, there is there's a Q&A on Friday after the program. Second, if during the majalis or after the majalis, in fact, if you have any feedback or questions in particular about today's majalis or the previous majalis, please make sure to provide that input through the Slido app. For those of you guys who are looking at your phones right now, the website is slido.com. The app you can download as well. It's SLIDO. And I should have this memorized by now, but the meeting number is 583-1727. That is 583-1727. Okay, thank you. Okay, so now I'm going to invite Maulana, Hujjatul Islam, Syed, Baqar, Raza, Rizvi to the member. Salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على رسوله الكريم وعلى أهل بيته طيبين الطاهرين من الآن إلى قيام يوم الدين أما بعد فقد قال الحسين عليه السلام ماذا وجد من فقدك ومن الذي فقد من وجدك صلوات. Please recite another salawat. All praise to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who actually gave us another tawfiq to sit together again on the 5th night of Muharram and commemorate these great days in the sense that we get great opportunities to travel this path of taqwa, path of liqa Allah, to get close to Allah, to get the clearer view of where we have to go, where we came from, and what we are doing. Like in hadith, it says that Al-Husayn Misbahul Huda, right? There's a lamp, there's a charagh, there's a light towards Hidayat. So whenever you find Hidayat, you find the path. And whenever you find the path, you know where you're going and where you're standing, right? So the very person, because of him we are gathered together, is nothing but light in our lives. Is nothing but a guide towards the zenith of insaniyat. So, alhamdulillah, we praise once again to Allah, Allah's name, that He gave us the opportunity to commemorate the majlis, the 5th majlis of this Muharram. Please recite salawat. Before I jump to my really dangerous topic, I've scared you guys a lot, but you are still coming, so I don't know what you guys want from me. But I want to make a clarification here. A mistake I made yesterday, and it was like Arabic mistake, and I have a brother who has done the Arabic grammar here, and he was not here, so he didn't catch my mistake. So when we were talking about this hadith of Imam Hussein, that An-Nasu Abidud Dunya, I translated Abid as a small slave, or the thing that the slave which has less quality or the less status. That was a grammatical mistake. You might have, definitely it'll be probably sometimes, when I was thinking of clarifying it here, it might not be relevant for you brothers, but the natija, the result I got from that could be different, so I had to make this correct. So abd is what? Slave. Ubaid is what? The lower form of abd, right? It is written the same way as Ubaid is, Ain, Ba, Ya, Dal, but it's recited as Abid, which is the plural of abd. So what Imam is saying here is that An-Nas, the collective noun, are the slaves of this world. But with this translation, with this specific, and Arabic is such a great language, the plural of abd is both abid and ibad. But the really intricate difference between these two words is really beautiful. The ibad is used for the abd, or the follower, or those who follow Allah. That's why we say in namaz what? Assalamu alayna, assalamu alayka, assalamu alayna wa ala ibadillahi salihin, right? Ibadillahi salihin. So with ibad, Allah comes. Ibad Allah yani, meaning the slaves of Allah, the followers of Allah. Abid, in old days, there was slavery, right? So people used to own slaves. So abid is a plural of those slaves who are the slaves of human beings. So this intricate difference between these two translations and these two words, that ibad and abid, is by itself is a whole dars, right? A whole lesson. So Imam didn't use an-nasu ibadul dunya. He used abidul dunya. And actually this translation is related to our topic as well. Please recite salawat. How is it related? That what we are going to talk about today is that we have two different worldviews, brothers and sisters. You probably have heard about the materialistic worldview and spiritual worldview and stuff like this, probably, or studied about that. But we are going to discuss it in a little bit different way. So, the ibad, when Imam is using abid, he is pointing to a place or to this point that these people are the slaves of something which is lower than them. Ibad are the slaves of Allah, the followers of Allah. Abid is a slave of something which is lower than you. Well, you say, okay, the master is lower than slave? No. But is it permitted in Islam that you one person is a master and he can buy and sell slaves? They'll say, yes, Maulana, yes. We're not talking about that. But the idea of enslaving human beings and human beings being enslaved by humans, is that a good idea? No. That's not a good idea. That's why when we see that Imams and Rasul used to have slaves, it was for some other reasons, some economic reasons. The society was in the position where people were bought and sold and taken care of by their human masters. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and Islam never ever promoted that. We have to make this distinction in our mind, brothers and sisters. How are you saying this, Maulana? Okay, coming back. You know that the alcohol is haram and najis and you cannot consume it, right? But when the Islam came, the alcohol was, from the day one, it was not prohibited, right? That's why we have this ayat. Don't get close to namaz or salat when you are intoxicated. So it became haram in Medina. So Islamic laws are like this, that they were given to people step by step, so people can follow it. So that's why the enslavement or slavery of human beings is not a good idea, but we can see that at that time, Prophet or Imam used to have slaves. My topic is not this, but I just wanted to clarify that. That's why I said that abid means when you are the slave of a thing, of a person either equal to you or lower than you. In particular hadith, Imam is saying that you are the abidud dunya. Dunya is from dana. Dana means two meaning. MashaAllah, we have the pre-Hawza person here, inshallah, Talabi here, he can correct me. Dana means closer to you, or from adna, something which is lesser than you. So in this dunya doesn't mean that my wife and my kids and my livelihood is something which is lesser than you, and you are the abid of it. So with the abid, we try to understand Imam's diagnosis here. That's the diagnosis Imam made, and that's why if you see that people didn't understand Imam, they didn't follow Imam, they called Imam from Kufa to come, and we have they said about probably 60,000 people were behind Hazrat Muslim, and there were almost 20,000 people killing Imam in the time of a month. So that's what happened. That's what happens, brothers and sisters, when you become the slave of a thing which is lower than you. Please recite a salawat. Please recite another salawat. Now the last hadith we read yesterday, that's from Imam Hussain as well. I'll give the mafhum of it. That Imam said that, oh people, Allah Ta'ala has created you for what? To worship Him. And when you worship Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, what happens? You become free to worship anyone else. Now we were talking about this worship, what this worship is. It's not only this salah, and again, when I say these things, brothers and sisters, I was thinking in my mind. When I say this, don't think that salah or na'udhu billah, reciting Quran and all these things are lower. No, they are not. They are not. We have to do at least the wajibat, and we have to get rid of or stop doing muharramat. This is the least thing as a Muslim we can do. 5 namaz every day is the least thing we can do. But 52 rakat namaz every day. The least thing we can do, which actually, again, which can make us a human being, is 5 namaz, 17 rakat. If we don't do that, we slip into the discussion we were talking about. A haywan who is not connected to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who is not reciting Quran, who has no connection to Allah. So the worship, of course, when Imam is saying in front of those people who just worshipped, who just came to Hajj and who is reading namaz in front of him, at this time he doesn't mean that kind of worship. At that time he's saying to this Hajiyan, these pilgrims, the ulama of the ummah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that you have to submit to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And if you don't submit to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you won't be able to establish the system of Amr bil Ma'ruf wa Nahy anil Munkar, or the system of Islam which is based on Amr bil Ma'ruf wa Nahy anil Munkar. Alhamdulillah, brother actually announced again about Slido. I got 2 questions, and they were both about Amr bil Ma'ruf wa Nahy anil Munkar. And the questions were absolutely right, because this thing becomes so touchy and so sensitive that you just become hush-hush in front of your brother or in front of your really close friend, and you are not able to say that, brother, what you're doing is wrong. And when you're not able to do that, probably you feel bad about him, and then you go behind his back and you commit another sin. And that's ghiba. So the question was like this. So yeah, we have etiquettes of doing Amr bil Ma'ruf wa Nahy anil Munkar. We have the conditions when Amr bil Ma'ruf wa Nahy anil Munkar. Again, if nobody knows the translation, is like forbidding the evil and asking to do the good deeds. Like whenever you see, in simple words, whenever you see a bad thing happening, you at least have to feel bad. If you can stop it with your hands, you have to stop with your hand. If you can stop with your tongue, you have to stop with your tongue. Hand doesn't mean that you have to slap them. Hand means like with the, some physical, things. Even by talking to them, giving them food, and then talk to them. That's by hand as well. This is the thing Imam is saying that the whole system of Islam is based on. If I see a bad thing happening, I have to stop that. Moreover, or more than that, this worship is a system. When we were talking about the hadith before, that this is a thing which has to be done by these ulama in front of me, when Imam was talking to them, that they need to go there and change the system of Islamic society at that time. Change the system to what? There were no mosques at Yazid's time. There was no Hajj at Yazid's time. There were mosques and Hajj. But the way it was done was that people were abidud dunya. And then the continuation of this hadith is this, that the Islam, the deen is like on the tip of their tongue. Whenever they are tested, they just spit it out. That's the whole hadith. So if you are not following a system, or if you don't have an established system, your religion would be superficial. Your religion would be just to make me feel good. We're going to talk about this feel good religion as well here. Please recite salawat. So does it mean, Maulana, that you have to believe in a religion which makes you feel bad? No, that's not what I meant. The meaning is this, that I go to religion and ask the religion what it asks from me. Not to cherry pick the topics, cherry pick the things which suit with my lifestyle, and then I become a really good religious person. Maulana was introvert, had no friends, so that's why he went to Qum. No, religion doesn't say that. Please say salawat. Qum is not filled with introverts like me. There are extroverts too, mashallah. They are more agile, more energetic. Please say salawat. Similarly, when I'm living in a society here, just because my hijab is perfect and nothing else, I just pinpoint other sisters on their hijab. And the other sister, hijab is shul, is loose, she pinpoint me on something else. I shouldn't give the example of sisters because then, I don't know, they don't even talk here like this. You can talk later on, you can talk on Slido. Please recite salawat. Just to give an example. We shouldn't cherry pick Islamic ahkam. But the topic here is this: why do we do that? Sometimes it looks like it's really, really difficult to differentiate between what's the right path and where am I doing wrong. Sometimes that's a serious question. Sometimes we are doing it because we don't want to learn about it, but sometimes it's a serious question. A real good brother, he has pain for others, but the way he does Amr bil Ma'ruf wa Nahy anil Munkar, it makes it worse. My diagnosis here, there are other diagnoses as well. My diagnosis here is because we don't have the system of Islam. We don't have the system of Amr bil Ma'ruf wa Nahy anil Munkar. So what should we do, Maulana? Should we just do the revolution? Go to Washington tomorrow? No, Baba. Don't get me in trouble. They stop me for half an hour. They are going to start stopping me for 6 hours. Start revolution from myself, from my community. My people, my children wouldn't mind if I say something. I say something to them in the way that they love me, and they wouldn't mind when I say something for them which is good for them. We can make this system, right? How many people we have here? Like almost 70, 60 people. We can start from this. We cannot start from that. We can start from our family. Can I start from our family? Start from myself. Brother said that he was worried that Maulana, probably somebody would say, Maulana, what kind of a speech were you? I said, it's okay. And right now, I'm not saying it to you, it's saying to myself. Yeah, you get mad. Yeah, you get angry. But no, you know what? Stop. Think about it. If she or he is right, pointing out any mistake, like I made a mistake yesterday, I should be able to come out and say, yeah, I made a mistake. So the system, Islamic system, or a system of Amr bil Maruf wa Nahy anil Munkar, comes with a philosophy. Which philosophy? Recite another salawat. So the main topic, we are starting main topic today, the 5th Muharram, inshallah. As the time passes, we're going to get closer to Ashura. Our intellect, our bardasht, our tahammul potential, our, capacity will increase, right? Is increasing by the pass of Muharram. If brothers can come a little bit forward, because I think the other brothers are coming. Please recite salawat. You can come forward a little bit. Bismillah. Recite another salawat. So unless we make a system in our mind, brothers and sisters, whom do we worship? Who is ruling our lives? We won't be able to do these furu'at, right? I mean, we went to Sunday school. We know what usul-e-din, what furu-e-din, right? Furu means branch. Far means branch. Far with ayn at the end. Asl means root. So usul-e-din are what? Tawheed, adal, nabuwat, imamat, qayamat. Right? Furu-e-din are what? Sunday school goers, please. What are the furu'at-e-din? What are the branches of deen? Bismillah. That's a Sunday school question. Namaz, Raza, Hajj, Zakat. That's what we learn, but there are more than that. We learn at 5, so you'll get full marks in your test, in your Sunday school paper, right? I don't know if you guys have tests here or not. If I want to fix my salat, if I want to establish salat in my society, in my community, I want to make my community salat mahwar, salat centric. Salat means the connection with Allah. I have to go back to my asl and see the tawheed. Before tawheed, I have to see if I need Allah in my life or not. An 18-year-old who thinks that he doesn't need Allah, I keep saying that, Baba, come to the majlis, it's 7th Muharram, it's 8th Muharram, do matam, do namaz. He is, okay. I come to just make you happy, my father. I'm not going to come because I know something or I want to do something. I'll just come to make you happy. So when am I trying to grasp the point, where this deviation is again, khud-shanasi. That I need to know that I live in this society as an Abdullah, as the slave of Allah, as a person who submit to the will of Allah. All of these things are politically incorrect here. Slave, right? Slave, submission. Because we live in a free society. Nobody can enslave me. Nobody can tell me what to do. I know what to do. And there, the root cause of all the problems are. How? We're going to try to explain it in ilmi way a little bit, inshallah. I hope it doesn't get that dry. Please recite another salawat. So brothers and sisters, the main deviation, the main root cause, the main root problem here is, how is your worldview? If your worldview is God-centric, Allah-centric, then all these things make sense. If your worldview is human-centric or self-centric, it doesn't make any sense. And that's why the bahath or pondering on these theories come in. When they say humanism, right? We live in a humanistic society. What's humanism? That in a society, human beings or one person is center. You put everything around him. Your social norms, your family structures, your political things, everything goes around him. And when this happens, every person is different, right? So it has to be different. What does it give rise to? Pluralism. If it's really hard to understand, please recite salawat. If you're understanding some of it, please recite another salawat. MashaAllah. So either you got my trick, or you're really understanding it. Please recite another salawat. So we need to see this, brothers and sisters. These are the discussions we need to have in our house, in our home. We are living in a human-centric society where we want to raise our kids who we want them to be God-centric. That's a paradox. It doesn't go together. There are two different things that are gonna keep fighting with each other. Oh, forget about our kids. For myself. I myself is a humanist in nature, but I want to become Habib ibn Mazahir, who is submitting to Imam Hussain because he is submitted to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If I don't fix that, my salat, my som, they are all there, but in the periphery of my human-centeredness. See what I was saying before? Why there's cherry picking on ahkamat and Islam is because Islam is made for me. Whatever I like, I'll follow. Whatever is okay with my lifestyle, I'm gonna take it. This ahkam to eat halal doesn't, it doesn't come in my lifestyle, so I'm gonna eat haram. I don't believe in a God who says, don't eat haram. Riba, sood, interest, it doesn't come in my lifestyle, the hurmat of it, so I'm gonna take a sood. But giving charity, it comes in my lifestyle. I make $100,000, I make $150,000, $200,000. I'll give $10 in charity. Yeah, that's good. That's a real good Islam. I love Islam. Fitra, how much is fitra? Maximum what? $25, $30. I'll do it. Even salat, five rakat, that's fine. 17 rakat, I'll do that. But my Islam will just stay there. That's why when I was talking to that brother who was saying that he's a really good guy, he's not that religious. That's why these things come in our mind. We're good people because we have taken the Islam which is attached to our lifestyle. We have taken the modernism which is synced with our lifestyle, and we are going on with our lives. So this is a diagnosis I made, actually. It's not only me. I studied something, and my teacher said this. And that's why I put this slide over there. If you want to refute me or want to discuss that thing about me to me, I'll really appreciate that. Because first of all, I need to know if you are grasping what I'm trying to say here. And second is this, that are you taking the way I'm telling you or not? Please recite another salawat. Now, when you have human-centric societies, right, you cannot give them any objective ruling, any kulli ruling, anything which can work for all of the people. There's no concept of community. There's no concept of a ummah, a nation. A Muslim ummah can never be formed if I believe in human-centric society. How is it that, Maulana? I'm giving your questions on your behalf. We see that there are groups here. We live in a country which is quite, in order. The order is there. People are following laws. They're stopping on stop sign. They're stopping on red light. That's true. But all these laws are originated from the same self-centeredness. If you take this pin out where the cop is standing there, the red light camera is there will be a chaos. While in God-centered society, you don't need a red light camera. You don't need a cop who is trying to get you to get more money and eat more donuts. You'll be afraid of Allah. And it's just an example. In every walk of your life, you will be like this. Then I wouldn't be worried about this, that what my child is doing in his closed door. What is he watching? If I train him in this way, if I myself have trained myself in this way, that I fear Allah more than anyone else, then he'll be the same way. It doesn't mean that you don't, guide them again, like I said before, not to spy on them and have trust in them. How would I trust my 18-year-old when I, being 43-year-old, do all the things which one 18-year-old should be doing? I can't trust him, right? Because I know I cannot trust myself first, right? That's why I said we have to start from ourselves. My soul, myself, my nafs is not God-centric. I don't revolve around Allah's ahkam. I don't believe that Allah exists and He's looking at me. Not to get me, but looking at me like what I'm doing. Am I getting close to Him or I'm getting close to Jahannam? If I don't practice that, I cannot instill this in my children. It's as simple as that, brothers and sisters. As simple as that. So now, coming to this, again, dry discussion, and inshallah I'm going to take some of the time, and then inshallah I'll take your leave. Please recite salawat. So when this happens, that everybody is self-centered or human-centered, when you say human-centric, that's different than self-centric, but the result of human-centric society is self-centeredness. That I am thinking anything which my nafs likes, I'm going to do that, right? I'll just I design my life around myself and around my likes and dislikes. Now there are so many people. So how many people we have, right? I don't know, what's the population of the world? Trillion, how many trillions? 8, 9? More than that, right? I don't know. That many trillions of or billions of people, they'll have their own reality. In their own reality, they live as the king, and they have found and made a fake reality around themselves. And they're happy in it. So these different, multiple realities, which are fake, sometimes go head to head. And that's when we came into a stalemate. That's when we couldn't find a solution of a problem. For example, the mask mandate during time of Corona. One person said, no, my self-centeredness, my self-reality or the fake reality I made is this, that I have to wear the mask so I don't spread the disease. His neighbor said, no, it's against my freedom. I still remember this one, maybe Republican or redneck or whatever, woman came to a congress or somewhere and she said like, you are making mask mandatory on me, you're making me like a woman in Arabia. So I wear hijab and I cover my face. Baba, this is what happens. Because she's living in her own reality. In her own reality, in her own self-centeredness, her freedom is more important than the health of somebody else. How are you going to solve this problem? That's why we have problems like pro-choice and pro-life. It's my body, I have to do whatever I want. No, Baba, there's another body inside your body. There's another life inside you. Allah has not created in Takween, in Genesis, in Takhliq, the way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala khalq created this world is not that you are isolated from others. It's not like you are not related to anyone. We are all born from a human being. How tightly we were connected to our mothers when we were in her womb. How can you say that you come out and you say, okay, you know what, now I'm on my own reality, my own freedom, and I have nothing to do with anyone. I'm not going to listen to anyone else. These are real problems here, right? Sometimes when brothers come and say, Maulana, talk about this. Are you pro-life or pro-choice? Baba, this question doesn't make any sense here. It doesn't make any sense because this question and questions like this, hundreds of questions like this are going to come and nobody would have a solution for that. One state who is, liberal, they say, no, you know what, you can do whatever you want to do. The conservatives say, no, because the Bible says that whatever. And then they give the reference of Bible where the God is a jealous God who came down to fought with Jacob and actually got defeated in a wrestling. And he was so jealous that when he saw that Adam was going towards the tree of knowledge, he just kicked him out. So when you have in the society, when the religion is defined like this, people are going to become atheists, right? People are going to say, okay, I don't believe in a God like this, who is jealous of a human being, who is eating from the tree of knowledge. What kind of things we are here? But we are so happy that mashallah, Maulana, my son is going to Catholic school. Mashallah, mashallah. That's the religion he is learning there. I'll be surprised that he come out and say there's no God. I'll be surprised about that. So, all in all, just to give the summary of this, how did we start our discussion? That we need to know what insan is. In humanism, insan or the human is the center of everything. In Islam, insan is the abd of Allah. Does it mean he doesn't have a free will? No, of course, he has a free will. That's why these people have these things and they have they say that we don't believe in Allah and everything and they still exist. Allah Ta'ala has given you and me the free will, and He has actually made us superior than anything He has created. From inanimate to animate, the plants and everything. Or whatever James Weber grasped, you are superior than that. Why? Because you're the vicegerent of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But as soon as this insan detached from this position that I am not attached to Allah, he loses everything. So the humanistic society, human is less than an animal because he's detached from Allah. And human of Islam, because he's attached to the real haqiqah, he himself is a biggest haqiqah. I'll leave here because it was kind of a really difficult thing. I'll suggest you, if brother will allow, bring your coffee, chai, whatever you want to do. I don't care. Anything which keep you awake, inshallah, we can continue with discussion. It's just like a discussion. People say that I'm scolding here. Please don't think in this way. That's how I talk. I'm part Pakistani. Well, I'm total Pakistani. So I should be doing my, majlis like this. So that's why I shout. Please say salawat. So I don't see that you guys are not awake, but I don't know if you are getting my point or not. So if you bring your coffee, chai, bring some coffee for me too, I'll do that, brother. So that's the thing. So now I'm just going to stop here. You have to come tomorrow too, right? So I'm not going to give everything one day. Please recite salawat. That's actually a really good question, because that's why I was thinking that inshallah tomorrow we're going to talk about haqiqah. What is haqiqah real is, and why is it, what reality is, and how to get there, and what are the fake realities we just talked about. Sallallahu alayka ya Aba Abdullah wa ala al-arwah allati hallat bi fina'ik jami'an salamullahi abadan ma baqit wa baqiya al-layl wa an-nahar wa la ja'alahu Allah al-akhir al-ahd minni li ziyaratikum. Assalamu ala al-Husayn wa ala Ali ibn al-Husayn wa ala awlad al-Husayn wa ala ashab al-Husayn. We reached to the point, the 5th night of Muharram, and we can see that there's something happening in the Karbala, in the land of Karbala, at the 61st year of Hijrah. And the thing which is happening that Imam Hussein with his family has pitched his tent close to Farat right now. They said that afterwards they asked him to move his tent close to the waterway, so it'll be easier for them to kill Ahl Bayt alayhim salam. At this time, Imam was all alone. When we read the Zarat, we say one thing, Watrul Mawtur. Watr means alone. Watrul Mawtur means a person who is alone in all the lonely people. He is the loneliest person there. Nobody was there to help Imam. But the people Imam inviting at that time, you can see their status. When you are alone, when you are in dunyavi trouble, and you go and talk to someone, it must be the closest to you whom you talk to. So at that time, Imam wrote a letter to one of his great friend, Habib ibn Madahir. Although Habib's age at that time was 67, he was born 1 year before the Ba'atha of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. At that time, he was residing in Kufa. Habib, when he received the letter, he was about to eat his supper with his wife. The letter came in, he took the letter, he opened it, says, "Is the letter from Hussein to his friend Habib." Habib cried a little bit, kissed the letter, came back in. Kufa was so in a big turmoil that he didn't even believe that what my wife would do. So he didn't tell his wife whose letter was that from? The wife asked, Habib, whose letter is that? He said, no, don't worry about it. It's just, Hussein called me, he's just calling me, wrote me a letter. But I'm thinking he's alone. If I go there, Ibn Ziyad is there, he can arrest me and this and that. I think I should delay or shouldn't go there to help him. The wife of Habib just stood up and said, Habib, you are my husband and Hussein is calling you. If you cannot go, I'm gonna go and help my imam. Habib said, oh, my dear wife, sit down. I was just testing you. I didn't know that you were afraid like the other women of Kufa and would hesitate sending me in the mouth of the dead. Habib made plans, asked his slave to stand outside close to the border of the city so he can, with his horse, so he can ride his horse and go and help Imam in Karbala. Because there were police and army in the streets of Kufa, he got delayed in reaching to that horse and his slave. But when he reached to that point, he saw that his slave was crying and said, oh, the horse of my master, if my master wouldn't come, I'll ride you and go and help Hussein. Habib saw that and he started crying and saying, oh, Mere Mawla, oh, my Mawla, oh, my Hussein, I don't know in which turmoil you are, that my slave is trying to go before me to help you. Habib said to his slave, may Allah bless you, and then took the horse, went there. He ran as fast as he can to reach Imam Hussein. When Bibi Zainab and other women of Haram heard that somebody is coming, brothers and sisters, there's one story that at that time, Yazidi used to bring horses, and they used to ride horses making a lot of noise. So all the women of Haram get scared. This one horse, when the horse was neighing, the women got scared, but then they got the news that Habib is here. Bibi Zainab was so happy. Bibi Zainab said, send Bibi Fizza to tell Imam Hussein to send his salam, to send her salam to Habib. Habib heard the salam of Bibi Zainab. He demounted from his horse. He came on the ground, sat on the ground, started doing matam and saying that I don't know what situation is this, that the daughter of Zahra, the daughter of Zahra is saying salam to me. I can imagine what Bibi Zainab is feeling at that time. She's seeing people coming in groups to help Yazid to kill his brother, but there's one person, just one person, he came to help her brother, and she was so happy. فَسَيَعْلَمُ الَّذِينَ ظَلَمُوا أَيُّ مُنْقَلَبٍ يَنْقَلِبُونَ مَاتَمَ Hussein.
ये खत में शाह ने लिखा हबीब आ जाओ ये खत में शाह ने लिखा حبیب آ جاؤ. یہ خط میں شاہ نے لکھا حبیب آ جاؤ. تمہارا دوست ہے تنہا، تمہارا دوست ہے تنہا، حبیب آ جاؤ. یہ خط میں شاہ نے لکھا حبیب آ جاؤ. شہید کیسے ہوا وہ بتاؤ گے آ کر، تم حال مسلم بے کس سناؤ گے آ کر. رقیہ تکتی ہے رستہ، رقیہ تکتی ہے رستہ، حبیب آ جاؤ. یہ خط میں شاہ نے لکھا حبیب آ جاؤ. لگاؤ اس سے بھی انداز میری غربت کے، جہاں پہ ابن علی لکھنا تھا وہاں میں نے دیا ہے ماں کا حوالہ، دیا ہے ماں کا حوالہ، حبیب آ جاؤ. یہ خط میں شاہ نے لکھا حبیب آ جاؤ. بتا رہا تھا اسے کوئی بھی نہیں ہے میرا، تو بولی ثانی زہرا حبیب آئے گا. ہے اس کو تم پہ بھروسہ، ہے اس کو تم پہ بھروسہ، حبیب آ جاؤ. یہ خط میں شاہ نے لکھا حبیب آ جاؤ. وہ جب یہ سنتی ہے کوفے سے آ رہے ہے شقی، تو پوچھتی ہے ہمارا بھی آئے گا کوئی. دعائیں دے گی سکینہ، دعائیں دے گی سکینہ، حبیب آ جاؤ. یہ خط میں شاہ نے لکھا حبیب آ جاؤ. گوارا کر نہیں سکتی حسین کی غیرت، تمہاری زوجہ کی چادر کو لوٹ لے امت. تم اس کو چھوڑ کے کوفہ، تم اس کو چھوڑ کے کوفہ، حبیب آ جاؤ. یہ خط میں شاہ نے لکھا حبیب آ جاؤ. تمہارا دوست ہے تنہا، تمہارا دوست ہے تنہا، حبیب آ جاؤ. یہ خط میں شاہ نے لکھا حبیب آ جاؤ. حبیب آ جاؤ، حبیب آ جاؤ.
بسم اللہ الرحمن الرحیم. اللہم کل ولیک الحجۃ الاسد صراطک علیہم وعلی آبائے فی ہذہ الساعة وفی کل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليا وعينا حتى تسكنه وارزقك وتمتعوا فيها طويلا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. نعرے حیدری.